Good morning, everybody. Stephen Hines here with the Hines Group at Robert Hall Properties in Winthrop, Massachusetts. I wanted to make a video really quick just about sort of what we're seeing in the market and then one sort of underutilized tool that buyers have the option of using when submitting offers for properties. First and foremost, a little bit of a market update. With everything that's going on in the world with COVID, no industry in the United States has been left untouched. The real estate market has been impacted in so many ways over the past 8 or 9 weeks by the COVID situation. But one thing is for sure that the real estate market has not stopped moving. I personally, this time last year, was not nearly as busy as I am right now. I know a lot of other agents that I've spoken to in the field have expressed that same level of momentum in the market that they're feeling. It's a very different atmosphere than last year, but it's very busy. Just from my experience, I just want to outline sort of what I've been seeing. First and foremost, the joblessness claims in the United States are the highest they have ever been, far surpassing 2008, and we all know how that turned out. So in the real estate market, this is what I've been telling my seller clients in particular. 30% of all potential home buyers have been completely removed from the market by joblessness. And unfortunately, that entire 30% tranche of buyers will not be re-entering the buyer's market, or a majority of them will not be re-entering the buyer's market just based on the tightening of qualifications for mortgages. A lot of companies have raised credit score requirements and have stopped taking risks on lower income buyers or buyers with less stable employment. So think about if you had a listing, set 30% of your buyers are gone, right? So 70% remain, and those 70% are quite strong buyers. You'd think that if 30% of the buyers are gone, listings would stop moving as quickly because there's less buyers out there. That's sort of the logical conclusion. The reality is that at the same time that 30% of these buyers have left the market, sellers are afraid to put their homes on the market because of COVID. They just simply don't want people. They simply don't want people coming into their homes. There are far more sellers reluctant to list than there are buyers that have been pushed out of the market. So what outcome does that have in the real estate market? Turns out that every time that a seller does actually want to list their property, it's been sort of insane how many offers are coming in, and that's because there are just no houses on the market. The market has been completely knocked off balance. If there was such a thing as balance last year, that balance has disappeared. I think as foreclosures and folks that took forbearance on their mortgages will have to pay 3 months in full, after that 3 months is over, and a lot of people won't have that. So foreclosures nationwide are definitely going to spike. As foreclosures start to become a reality, lots more sellers will either be forced to sell or decide that they need to sell to avoid the foreclosure. And so a lot more listings are going to come on the market. When that happens, and we still have that same 70% of buyers that are there, I think there'll be much less competition for purchasing. And when that happens, property values and sale prices tend to fall. Now, there's no guarantee that any of that will happen, but that's sort of my theory for what might happen over the next year. So if you've been considering selling, you might have like a 5-6 week window ahead of us where you actually might be in a really good spot to procure some really good offers. Once the state starts opening legislatively, once the state starts reopening and people start to get more comfortable with the new world that we're living in, as a seller, you actually might have more competition on the market than you would if you listed in the next 5, 6 weeks. So it's definitely something to consider. If this year was going to be your year to do it, don't let COVID sort of hold you back from that, because this might be like your last chance in quite a while to hit a sale price at the peak of the market. Again, none of us have a crystal ball, especially not me. All I can do is take all the data that I'm seeing nationally, aggregate it, and apply it to the markets that I know best: the Winthrops, the Reveres, the Salems, and the Beverleys, and the East Bostons and Chelseas of the world. That is sort of what I see happening here. So if you have any questions about the market or anything at all, you can reach out to me on Facebook, you can text me, you can email me. I'm always available to answer questions. And so I hope this was helpful. I hope this was instructive. And I know I said that we would get to like tips for buyers putting in offers in this competitive market. But I think I'm going to do that in a different video. That deserves, I guess, sort of its own space. So thank you very much. And I will see you all very soon.